Vušković keen on Brighton switch. Tottenham are close to finalising a new 4-year contract with Pedro Porro. Paul van Hecke on his future. Wales and Tottenham Hotspur legend Cliff Jones has been recognised in the King's Birthdays Honours list. And Fiorentina have revived their interest in Spurs centre-back. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hi everyone, hope you're well and welcome back to the channel and another edition of the Daily Tottenham News Headlines, where I'll be going through all the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. My name's Leader Dorset Spur, and if you are watching on YouTube, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on an audio platform, please hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Okay, so let's get into it. Here's the main stories today. Sky Sports have reported that Vušković is keen on Brighton switch as Spurs are expected to demand £60 million. Luka Vušković is keen on a move to Brighton, but it's unlikely Spurs will sanction a deal for £30 million. So talks remain ongoing. Once an agreement is made on Vuškovic's evaluation, a deal is expected to progress quickly for Paul van Hecke to join Spurs. His valuation is expected to be in excess of £60 million. Sky Sports have also reported Tottenham are close to finalising a new 4-year contract with Pedro Porro. The right-back has become one of the team's top performers despite their struggles last season. Porro has had interest from other clubs, but is ready to recommit to Spurs under Roberto De Zerbi. His existing contract expires in 2028. Tottenham Hotspur target Paul van Hecke on his future. Well, first of all, I just want to focus on the Dutch national team on Sunday. That is a very important match for us, for me, so that's my focus until now. Of course, things are also playing, and I know that myself too, but that's not for now. That's more after the World Cup. I will then see where I play. I have also said very clearly that I would like to have clarity for myself before the World Cup, and I have that too. But then for now, for myself, it's clear I just want to play in the World Cup as well as possible. The clarity will probably come after the World Cup when I make that step. Then it's clear to everyone. BBC Sport have reported that Wales and Tottenham Hotspur legend Cliff Jones has been recognised in the King's Birthday Honours list. Jones, 91, has been made a member of the British Empire, MBE, for services to Welsh football. The winger scored 16 goals in 59 internationals and was part of the Wales team that reached the quarterfinals of the 1958 World Cup in Sweden before they were knocked out by Pelé's Brazil. Jones was a member of the Tottenham side that won the Football League and FA Cup double in 1961. He then played his part as Spurs beat Atletico Madrid 5-1 in the final of the European Cup Winners' Cup 2 years later to become the first British team to win a European trophy. Jones also helped Tottenham win the FA Cup in 1962 and 1967. Jones wrote on social media, "Proud and humbled to receive this MBE. It was an honour for me to represent my beloved Wales and pull on the red dragon shirt. I share this with all my teammates and my wonderful family and my wife, Joan." Wales captain and Tottenham Hotspur defender Ben Jones paid tribute to Cliff Jones being awarded an MBE. It's fantastic. Cliff Jones is being recognised for his incredible contribution to both club and international football. He is recognised as one of the true greats of the game at both Swansea and Tottenham, and of course with Wales. I was lucky enough to meet him when I first arrived at Spurs, where I forged a close bond with him and his wife, who often had me round the house, and I hear amazing stories about his life and football career. To have him present with me for my 100th cap was an absolute honour. And finally, reports in Italy are stating that Fiorentina have revived their interest in Spurs centre-back Dragusin. He was a target during the January window. Tottenham value the Romanian international at 20 million euros, which is currently a primary obstacle to the deal being struck. So, my thoughts on some of these stories. Well, obviously the big one in there is the Vušković issue, with Brighton being keen on the player and us being keen on Van Hecke. I have to be honest, from my point of view, I do believe that Tottenham would be absolutely crazy to sell such a talent as Vušković. He's 19 years old. He's already playing at international first team level. We're going to see him play against England in the World Cup very, very soon. And then we'll be able to judge at what kind of level he is at. £30 million sounds like an absolute joke of an offer, especially when you're talking about Van Hecke being £60 million. So for me, I think it's an absolutely crazy thing. I totally understand that De Zerbi wants Van Hecke, and if he wants him, then we need to do what we need to do to get him, because he's trying to build a team for now, because football is unforgiving. Tottenham have been 17th for 2 seasons, and that's not acceptable. Tottenham need to be challenging. We need to be up there in the top 6, and also aiming to be in the top 4 for Champions League football. That's where we feel that we should be. We are a million miles off of that, and De Zerbi has a massive job to do to try to get us there. But if you're going to give away such a great talent at this point, for me, is the wrong move, because it's all well and good focusing on the next season and the next couple of seasons, but Vušković could be a player for the long term. If you make him feel wanted, you make him part of the team, provided he's good enough. That's for the coaches and that to decide. But to part ways with a player with longevity for a player for now, to me, is absolutely crazy. And I'm not saying that Van Hecke wouldn't be a long-term servant to the club, but I just think that you've got to think, as other teams are starting to do, your Manchester Cities and so on, Manchester United, looking at younger players. There's been a lot of interesting younger players of late in this transfer window. It would be crazy to deviate away from bringing young talent to this club for the long term. For me, the best part of this deal would be a loan. Let's see how he plays in the Premier League. Let's give him that opportunity to play regular football at the highest level, and then let's see where we go from there. Let's have some stability in the club, and let's see what happens with Dragusin, Romero, Van der Ven, and so on in the longer term. But for me, crazy if they're considering letting this guy go. That links in well with the Van Hecke story. I think he knows what's going on. It's clear to me that he knows what's going on, and he knows what steps he's making, but he just doesn't want to talk about it until after the World Cup. Although he said he wanted clarity before the World Cup, so it looks like he may well have clarity, and it's just waiting for the end of the World Cup before everything's decided. And I think perhaps it is linked a little bit to this Vušković issue. I think once that's resolved, we may well hear about it before the end of the World Cup. But we'll see what happens from that point of view. And congratulations to Cliff Jones, fantastic servant to Tottenham with major honours there. 91 years old, he still looks as fit as a fiddle. So brilliant to see him recognised. For me personally, I think it's probably come many years late. I think he should have been recognised a lot earlier than this, but congratulations to him and his family. I think he should be absolutely proud. He's a gentleman and a top legend for Tottenham Hotspur and for Swansea and for Wales, obviously. And Ben Davies, I said Davies, I think I said Jones in the preview. But Ben Davies, paying tribute to him and hearing that he was round for dinner and got to know him very, very well. That's a really nice thing to do. Both sharing a common history in terms of playing for Wales, playing for Swansea, playing for Tottenham. It's a really cool story. So yeah, congratulations. And this last one, Fiorentina revived interest in Dragusin, and a sticking point is 20 million euros. That is absolutely crazy. It beggars belief to me. Whenever Tottenham are trying to sell a player, no one wants to pay above £5.50. But when you're buying a player, they all want 100 million. you know, it's just nonsense. For me, I think Dragusin hasn't had a great time at Tottenham, mainly due to injuries and being blocked off from getting into the team. But he is far better than 20 million would suggest, and I think it's a big insult. So I can't see him going there, not for that money. If he does, that's a steal for them. So, but we'll see how that pans out. It may be the only option that they've got, and it may be that he just really wants to go. So we'll see. I do think he's going this summer, but whether it's there for that sort of money, I wouldn't have thought so. But stranger things have happened. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching and listening. Hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching on YouTube, please do like, comment and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. My name's Leader Dorset Spur. If you'd like to come over and check out my channel, I'd be really pleased to have you over there. You can never get enough of football and Tottenham YouTube, can you? So come and give us a look, and I'll see you on the next one. And as always, up the Spurs.